What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today we're back with Tony. And you showed us Unchained last time, but today you're showing us
Tenyi.
Tenyi. Pure more or less.
Yeah. Well, this is as pure as it could get, minus a few weird techs, and I'll go into that.
Okay.
But honestly, this deck has, I think, worked out better than I thought in terms of going for just ham.
Yep.
With the new support comes out, I think it could do a lot more. So I'll just get into it.
Okay, perfect.
So you're gonna be playing 3 of each Tenyi, but we're gonna start off with Tenyi, Spirit, Ashuna.
So this is the newest one.
Yes. So all the Tenyis have a shared effect, where if you control no effect monster, you can special summon this card from your hand.
Yep.
It has additional. All of them also have an additional effect where if you control a non-effect monster, which means you just have to control a non-effect monster. It doesn't mean it has to be only a non-effect monsters. So which is really useful. You can banish the spirit from your hand or graveyard to do certain things. Ashuna, while it's in the Ashuna lets you banish it to summon a Tenyi monster from your deck, but then you're locked into worms for the rest of the turn.
Okay.
So this is your consistency card. It's a light. It's a level 7. It's essentially what you'll be using to essentially search into your other Tenyis.
It's a starter.
Yeah. Moving on, then you have your Tenyi Spirit Vashuda. This is one that I think you'll see in a lot of other decks. Same thing where instead when you control a non-effect monster, you can banish it from your hand or graveyard to bounce a card.
Yep.
And these are super nice because since you can banish from hand, your opponent can't even like put up a dweller because you can just use it from your hand as well.
Okay, that's cool.
Moving on, you then have your 3 Tenyi Spirit Adhara. This one is double full use. One, it's a tuner. It's a tuner that you can special summon if you control no effect monster. Always useful.
Yep.
The other effect is while you control no effect monster, you can banish from your hand or graveyard to add back a banished Tenyi. This is going to be your recursion, but a lot of times what you're going to be doing is you're going to activate Adhara's effect in the graveyard to summon the Ashuna to summon the Adhara, and then link with the Adhara, and then banish it later to add back the Ashuna and loop continuously with those.
Recursion is always nice.
It being a tuner means that with a 7 and a 1, you can make your level 8 synchros, and that's also kind of useful.
Okay, that's dope.
Moving on, we have your these are your funky trick Tenyi monsters. You have your Tenyi Spirit Sithana, your Tenyi Spirit Mapura, and then your Tenyi Spirit Nahata.
Yo, let me just say before you continue, I'm proud of you that you can say these names without even stuttering.
I am 100% sure I butchered it somewhere, but
I mean, it sounds pretty good. Anyway.
Hey, if you're Buddhist, you'll understand it, I guess. So here's how these work. The water one, Chitana, when a non-effect monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish from your graveyard to reborn that non-effect monster, and then when he hits the board, you non-target pop a monster on the field. Okay. This is something that you can actually abuse on your turn, but also it's just a way to tear your opponent from running over your monsters. But Purva is anti-targeting protection. If your opponent targets one of your non-effect monsters, banish it and negate the effect. Adhara is the kind of the wimp one out. You banish on your hand or graveyard when an attack is declared involving a non-effect monster, and you drop your opponent's monster by 1500 attack.
Okay.
So it gets rid of aggression. It's also your funky, weird way to get over BLS. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you play all these just because of the fact that they're very similar to the BA kind of structure, where if you don't have an effect monster, you keep dropping them. If you open a bunch of them, you can keep going with your plays.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Moving on, we have the next kind of card, which is Mirror Man. I don't play one, partially because it's bricky, and I know there's plays where you want to see it, but honestly, it's just bricky.
Yeah.
If you don't make when you make the monster that uses this, you are putting yourself open. So just having this, but the idea behind this is that this can only be summoned by a worm effect. As it turns out, you have a link monster that's a worm that summons worms from the graveyard. So you'll be using this to make 3 tokens and using those tokens to make more boards.
Yep.
And as it turns out, it can be dumped by your next card, which I'll get into. Actually, it's by your spell and traps I'll get into. Next up, we play 3 Gamma Seal.
Yep.
Because you can Gamma Seal your opponent, activate Vashuda, get back your Gamma Seal, and Gamma Seal your opponent again.
That's part of it.
And it's not like it's not like your monsters are ever small, that you're going to be running over this real easy.
Yep.
And then you'll also play 3 Nibiru. See, Nibiru is actually kind of cool in this deck because this is the only deck, as I mentioned to you previously, that you can Nibiru while you have a board.
Okay, and why is that?
So I'll get into this when I get into the spell and traps.
Yep.
But there's a card that essentially lets you Nibiru where none of your cards are, when your monsters aren't affected by it.
So you would just destroy everything on your opponent's board, your board stays?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
nice.
real problem, however, is I'll actually get into that later. The next card you play, and this is going to be a really funky one, you either play 3 Vanity's Emptiness, because you can just special this and then summon advantage that way.
Yeah.
Or there's a card called Foreman Skipper. Foreman Skipper lets you reveal a monster from your X deck and copy its name for the sake of a link summon. I used to be playing Foreman Skipper so I can, as like a callback to my Unchained, revealing Unchained Solar Rage to then link away a monster and the Foreman Skipper into an Unchained Solar Rage to end off my combo.
And then that's kind of like your disruption there.
Yeah, it gives me a second form disruption. I personally think this one going first is infinitely stronger.
Yep.
But the Foreman Skipper is just kind of funny, and I like funny.
And you can Vanity Fiend on your, like, at the end of your combo, right?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
you don't need your normal summon.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like if you open the Vanity Fiend, you're a place where you don't even use your normal summon, and you'd rather want to tribute summon one of the monsters to summon Vanities.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Moving on, you play the card. I think this is the card I was more mentioning here. I'm alluding to. Your Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi.
Yep.
So this card has twofold effects. One, all your non-effect monsters are unaffected by monster effects. Again, that means if you go Nibiru, all your non-effect monsters won't be attributed by the effect.
So this basically protects you from the Nibiru.
Yes. Additionally, if your opponent summons special summons a monster while you control a non-effect monster, or a set monster for some reason, because I guess this card wanted to support Subterrors.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
You draw 2 cards.
Oh, that's dope. So
It's a pot of greed on your opponent's turn. Every time your opponent decides to fight back, you're drawing 2 cards. But the fact that it's unaffected by monster effects means that the more your opponent digs, the more you're digging in. It's super strong, and you can get like.
Oh, so you can like dig into your Nibiru. You don't even have to open the Nibiru. You
Yeah,
can just draw into your
there
Nibiru.
are games where I've activated this, my opponent goes, makes their board, cool. I drew Nibiru, it's like, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll Nibiru your board, and I still haven't changed my
Oh,
hand.
that's crazy.
The only unfortunate part is that the effect of non-effect protection applies to both players' boards, which means that when you summon that token on your opponent's side of the field, if it's too big, you actually have no way of getting rid of it.
Oh.
So,
I mean, unless you get rid of this somehow. But.
yeah, play with caution. Play with caution.
Okay.
Moving on, you play the 3 Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. This is your Rhoda-esque Foolish Burial.
Yep.
When you activate it, you can send 1 worm from your deck to the graveyard. However, if you have a non-effect monster on the field, you also add a Tenyi to your hand.
Okay.
So a lot of times what you get into doing is you could send your Mare to add the light Tenyi, and that's how you continue your board. Opening this essentially opens you to a board of 3 disruptions. So, pretty good.
Yeah, important card.
Foolish Burial, get your Tenyi's grave. Monster Reborn, because Monster Reborn.
Yeah, always good.
Then you play 3 unrivaled Fists of the Tenyi.
This is your strike.
This is your like counter trap. Yeah, when your opponent activates a monster effect, spell, or trap, you negate it. Also, if destroyed by it's set, you can summon a non-effect monster from your X deck. Technically, you could play Blue Eyes, but at this point, you really don't use it for that effect. You just use it for the negation. Because there's a lot of times where your end board is going to be the Link monster and a Vanity's Fiend. And your opponent's going to try to find a way to out the Vanity's Fiend, and this is your way to stop that.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
You then play 3 Waterfall. This card is still very strong. Waterfall lets you 2
anything in your
effects.
deck, basically.
You search a Tenyi, you can search a worm from your deck, or you can send worms from your hand to the graveyard to draw X, hand or field to the graveyard to draw X+1.
Yep.
So a lot of times you'll like I pitch my entire hand and super redo my hand. But also when everyone decides to run over my weaker Tenyis, I go activate this, pitch my hand and my field, and then just draw like 8.
Oh, that makes yeah, okay. I can see
And it's
that.
super strong because when you combine it with the field spell, you end up drawing into Tenyis when you didn't have Tenyis to then activate this to draw even more Tenyis. So very strong.
I guess it also gets rid of like Mare in your hand if it ends up bricking, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
So it's very good that way, and I play the 1 Metaverse because chaining to a special summon effect to activate the field spell means you're instantly guaranteed a +2.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
That is the main deck here. Very like it's pretty. I think 41 or 42. Robust. Essentially, the idea of the deck is you're going to keep summoning monsters on the board, keep making the normal non-effect monsters, and then blinking up to bigger monsters.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then moving on to the next deck. We play 1 Abyss Dweller and 1 Tornado Dragon. For the situation where you didn't trigger Adhara, you're summoning this.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll have a water and you'll make this a 22. For the situation when you activated the Ashuna, you'll be making this because most of your deck is level 4s and it pops out on traps. For your synchros, you play 1 Baxia and 1 Dragon Berserker of the Tenyi.
So why Baxia over Yazi?
1, I have no way of making a 7.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess if you want to do the Mare thing, but the point of summoning guys is to summon the Mare.
But you already have other ways to summon Mare.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the idea is that if you open this and you open the level 1, you have your Baxia, and then it just spins 2.
Ah, okay.
But also then you pop a card and then keep making your plays from there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Careful about this one though, because it does shut off your. If this is the only thing on the board, obviously you're shutting off your board. But I guess you could pop it and then summon back a Tenyi to keep going.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
The Draco Berserker, it's really strong. It has that board sword kind of effect, but in a weird way. If it runs over a monster by battle, it gains half the attack of that monster runs over permanently, and then can attack another monster. Also, if you want to activate some monster effect, you banish that monster. Doesn't negate it, but it's removal in like the weirdest places.
Yeah, okay.
I banished a Gazelle when it tries to special summon, and then my opponent scoops.
Yeah, because the 1-of is gone.
Moving on to the Link monsters, and the most important part, you play 3 Monk of the Tenyi. Requires any Tenyi monster. This is the monster that you're going to go into immediately after summoning your first Tenyi monster to summon another Tenyi monster. Moving on, you have your Land for Linkus. This is just another way to keep Link climbing because it's a non-effect monster. And then you have the important one, your Shaman of the Tenyi. Shaman has 2 effects. One, you can discard a card from your hand, and then summon a worm from your graveyard. And then for the rest of the turn, you can't activate any monster effects from your extra deck except for Tenyi monster effects. Okay. So what you'll be using this for is to summon back Mares and then keep going from there. The other effect is if a attack is declared involving a non-effect monster, you target 1 card on the field and pop it. You can use this for aggression, but you also, on weird cases, use it as a deterrent because your opponent's forced to run over this first before your non-effect monsters. Most time, however, I want to get rid of this because it's a 1600 monster, and that's how you lose when you're low on life, and they run into this guy. You have your 1 Draco Master Tenyi. This card's really strong, but the conditions of having its effect live is really conditional. So the effect here is that if you control no other effect monsters, you can blow up monsters on the field, non-targeting, equal to the number of non-effect monsters in your field or graveyard.
Okay.
So let's say I have 3 non-effect monsters in my graveyard, that's 3 pops. Let's say I have 5, that's 5 pops. It also can be destroyed by an effect monster, so it is kind of like it's an anchor for when things go really badly.
Okay, that makes sense.
But in most time you'll just be making the Berserker of the Tenyi. It's a 3k beater, requires a Link monster and anything else minimum. And in effect just to let you kind of just put, it's just a non-effect monster. You'll be using this to trigger most effects. You're also supposed to be playing 1 IP Masquerena, but I don't own one because I spent all my money on Unchained.
Yeah, that's an expensive deck.
Yes. But the reason that is that you're going to end up making Avermax with it. You can make Avermax pretty easily with this deck.
So would you just cut out like maybe like 1 land for Linkus for like the IP? Is this 15 cards?
No, I don't even think it's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I cut out the Abyss Dweller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because of the fact that unfortunately this locks you into non-Tenyi, it only locks you into Tenyi effects. But that's the deck. So I'll show you a quick combo. This is what happens if you open 2 Tenyis, I believe. Or 2 Tenyis. It doesn't have to be a Hara, but let's say you were a god and opened a Hara. But you open this and a Tenyi monster, you have your play.
Okay.
Here's what you do, especially with this summon the Shooter or the Tenyi monster. You link it away, summon your Monk.
Yep.
Now you now have a non-effect monster. You're gonna activate your Tenyi, your Dragon Cycle. You're gonna add yourself the Adhara to send the Mare.
Yep.
Wherever my Mare may be. Now Mare's in the graveyard as well. You're gonna special summon the Adhara, link it away, to summon Shaman.
Yep.
Shaman, you'll pitch a card from your hand to summon back your Mare.
Yep.
If you somehow open Mare, it's okay, you're pitching Mare to summon Mare anyway.
Yeah, it works.
Mare will then summon 3 tokens.
Yep.
Use 2 of these tokens to make IP Masquerena.
Okay.
You'll then link away the token and the remaining token and the IP Masquerena to make your Tenyi Berserker.
Okay.
Now your Berserker cannot be destroyed by card effects. It's an additional layer of protection. But now your Mare is level 4.
Yep.
You're going to go ahead and banish your Ashuna because you control a non-effect monster now.
Yeah.
Summon Shatana.
Okay.
You're going to synchro summon now a 4 and a 4. Summon Draco Berserker of the Tenyi.
Okay.
And this is your end board.
So you can also just OTK with this board.
You can going second. This is the OTK. Like you'll be using this to pop a card. You'll be running over a card to get damage, and then running over a second card. And this is just 3k to the face.
And this only locks you into Tenyis for the rest of the turn, right?
This locks you into Tenyi's effects. Your monster effects can only be Tenyi effects for the rest of the turn.
This could technically, if going first, let's say against Orcus, you can just make the Dweller here, and then on your opponent's standby phase, you Dwell.
Yeah, I can make the Dweller. Well, because I unfortunately have activated Ashuna, I can't make the Dweller, which is kind of awkward.
Okay,
but let's say, for example, I just had another Tenyi.
Yeah.
You can almost summon Tenyi and overlay with a Mare, and then there we go. There's my dweller.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's a dweller with.
You also did this with no normal summon, so.
So this is where again it gets important for the Vanity Sphere.
Yeah.
Or the Format Skip. Because this card's kind of vulnerable going first. You could just tribute summon the Vanity Sphere.
And then that would be your end board if you have
The Vanity team.
Because now your opponent,
really
your opponent is now you're gonna lose the fact they can't really run over this, and this is still a beater. And then it lets you open them
it's a
shooter.
beater with protection, no special summoning, and then disruption.
Yeah, and if your opponent decides to try to guard on monsters, this is your monster clear.
That's really wow.
Yeah, if you
like
open, obviously you open the Format
combo.
Skipper, you're Format Skipping these two away to make a rage. But
And that's like a 2.5 card combo.
2.5 card combo. You essentially open any Tenyi and this, or you open literally Mare and two Tenyis. Same idea.
Yeah.
Obviously, you never really want to have that, but you can do what you want.
You could, yeah.
And then this is just extra. It could be like if let's say you open the Field Spell. Well, the Field Spell equally is good in this situation.
Yeah, because
you're still drawing
draws.
2 under this. Let's say you open the Nibiru with the field. Let's say you have Nibiru on Field Spell. Once you trigger this, this is free game. You can tribute summon this, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because once you link into, this is why the second one's important. Once you make the second one, you can bring this back from the graveyard.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes
And
sense.
then there's your offense again.
And then there's your OTK basically again later on.
Worst comes to worst, if you do leave this on the field, next turn what you can do is you can link these two away to summon Avermax.
No.
And then Avermax is the board. When the new Link 4 comes out, I was messing around with a combo with your end combo is you summon Avermax and the Link 4, and then the minute your opponent summons anything, you're going to summon a token based off of that monster, and then your opponent can't attack you.
Oh yeah, you locked them out of the battle phase basically.
You lock them out of battle phase, and then you essentially lock them out of targeting this or this.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like a lot of decent combinations with that board. But yeah, so that's the deck.
Alright, well thank you for the deck profile. I'm sure you guys will be seeing more of Tony. If you guys enjoy Tony, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. Also like this video. Oh, do you want to say something? Go ahead.
So I guess the next deck list I'm still working on is I think I sent you a picture of it of the board I ended up making.
Yep.
Off of like just opening the same water hand. But essentially it's either gonna be this or that pure generator deck I finally gotten around to actually playing.
Don't worry, well I'm sure we'll see it soon.
Yeah.
So anyways, thank you for that. If you guys enjoyed, like I said, like this video, and with that guy, Spanko signing out. Peace.
Steady, I feel ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this, cross my shit.